Hello everybody, Rachel here. I'm the founder of the Magnificent Midlife page and the Magnificent Midlife Members Club and the Flock, which is our private group on here. And welcome on this Tuesday afternoon. It is Top Tip Tuesday. So here I am. If you are watching live or you're watching on the catch up, do say hello. Let me know who you are, because if you don't actually say hello, I have no idea who's on. So say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Feel free to interject and tell me what you think about what I'm saying. So my Top Tip Tuesday this week is don't let fear of failure stop you. I find that an awful lot of women get very nervous about taking action because they're frightened of failing. And I want to today tell you all that it's fine to fail and it doesn't matter, and who's going to care anyway? But okay, so why is it so important that we don't let fear of failure stop us, particularly at this stage of our lives, particularly when we get to midlife? So do say hello if you're watching. Tell me where you're watching from in the comments. It'd be lovely to know who's there. So I'm here. Top Tip Tuesday today is all about not letting fear of failure stop us from doing what we want, living our dreams, taking any kind of action, actually, because often I think we overanalyze things. And when we get to midlife, it's midlife. It's exactly that. We've probably, I know I, for one, for certain, unless I live to be 104, which I'd love to, but it's probably unlikely. Unless I live to be 104, I have got less time left than I've already lived, because I'm 52. So now my decisions are, do I want to do that? Does that excite me? Does that inspire me? Does that intrigue me? Then I'm much more likely now to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to go for that, rather than, oh, well, I might start it and then I might fail at it, or I might start it and I might not be able to go very far with it, and then I'll look as if I failed, even if I don't actually think I failed, or other people might think I failed, or that nagging voice in the back of my head, you know, or the one on the shoulder, the angel on the shoulder that's going, nah, 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 told you couldn't do it, told you. It's gonna jump up and go, see, you shouldn't have done it anyway. That was ridiculous, wasn't it? So does fear of failure stop you from deciding to actually do something, to be proactive about your life and to make changes? Or do you subconsciously perhaps undermine your own efforts at something because you are frightened of failure? Okay, so sometimes it can be a conscious fear, sometimes it can be an unconscious fear. It can be like, well, I don't think I'm going to do very well at this, so I won't put in the effort. I'll kind of sign up and then I'll not do very much, because then I don't need to risk failing. Then I don't need to actually call myself accountable, see myself accountable, because I didn't actually do the work. Therefore, I've got an excuse if I don't see the results that I think I was going to get. So what do you think? Tell me what you think. Is what I'm saying making sense about this inherent fear of failure that so many of us have? Now, I'll tell you my story. Okay, I was scared, because I can't say that word on Facebook Live, but did you get it from what I mouthed? I was scared because I didn't want to come out from behind my brand originally, right? So my first brand was called The Mutton Club, and it still is The Mutton Club. It's a magazine. And I sat behind that brand for about 2 years. I had an about page and it talked a little bit about me, but I didn't want to come out from behind it, because if I came out from behind it, then I was putting my stamp on it. And if it failed miserably, then it was very much my fault, wasn't it? I messed it up. And then I created Magnificent Midlife, and that's still not me, it's not my name on it, but I have finally come out from behind the brand, because people told me that if I didn't, it wasn't going to go anywhere. So eventually I had to pluck up my courage and I had to say, okay, I'm going to come out from behind the brand. I'm going to come out and stand front and center, and look at me now. I do Facebook Lives. You're watching me on a Facebook Live. For years, I couldn't do that. eventually I signed up to do an Introverts Go Live challenge, and we had to go live in a little private group every day for a week. And again, I was scared. And it was very, very difficult, but I did it. I got over that, and I got over the fear of failure. And I might still fall flat on my face, but I'm kind of, I don't care anymore so much. So, but this fear, it can be paralyzing, can't it? It can stop us moving forward, and it can cause us to stagnate, because it's actually easier to do nothing, isn't it? It's easier to go, well, my life's not very good, and this is rather annoying, and I've got no time for myself, and I'm too busy, and I'm this, and I'm that, and the other. But actually doing something about it, if I then mess it up, I've failed, haven't I? What do you think? Tell me if you're watching. Say hello in the comments. Tell me what you think. Are you fearful of doing something? Is there something out there? Would you like to be very brave today and tell me what it is in the comment that you're fearful of, and why you're being stopped from doing whatever it is that actually you'd quite like to do? So I wonder why we fear failure. I mean, I think we're given all these messages throughout our lives, aren't we? It starts with parents, probably, parents, wanting us to, do fabulous things, and then perhaps we see ourselves as failing. So that's the first sort of notch, isn't it? And then maybe we really do fail in school, or we have a perception that we fail in school. But then what does failure mean? Failure is a very subjective thing, isn't it? You see, I now have a completely different view of things like dyslexia, that we didn't have a knowledge of that before. So that if somebody isn't traditionally, hi Michelle, if somebody isn't, traditionally academic, when I was at school, we would have viewed that as a failure. Whereas now I know that it's just a different skill set. And I know that there are companies, in the world who thrive on having dyslexic people in their companies, because those people come with a completely different range of skills that the more sort of traditionally, academic type of people perhaps don't have. So again, Michelle says, love you. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. That's lovely. Oh, see, I'm being brave. I'm going out there. That's lovely. Thank you. So those it's all about a personal perception of failure. What is it? What is it? So I think, and what does failure mean for us, as we get a little bit older in life? And I think it's so important to actually challenge it. What does it mean? What does failure look like? If I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to do this because I'm fearful of failing, what does failing look like? What am I going to, if I do fail, what's it going to look like? So what can we do about this? If we really think, okay, I need to grow a pair and do something, or take an action step, or really, start being proactive about something, what can we do to get over this fear of failure? Well, I think the first thing is to listen to our own self-talk, because thoughts are not truth. They're just thoughts, okay? So if you are, whatever you're hearing in your head or on your shoulder and that little whinge bag over here, just ignore them and question it, because what they say is not true, okay? It's just what you're thinking. And think, what is the worst that could happen? If you fail, or if you have a perception that you fail, what is the worst that could happen? It's probably not that bad. If it is that bad, okay, then seriously think about it. Maybe you don't want to do it. But if you follow it through to its logical conclusion and it's not that bad, then again, you can discount it and say, okay, don't need to worry about that. And I think the key thing I want to say here is, if you don't try something, you'll never know. And actually, you might succeed beyond your wildest dreams. You just don't know, do you? We never know, any of us, at any time of our lives, how it's going to turn out. But you could just take a chance and think, wow, this could be amazing. And I personally think, as I said earlier, life is too short, The clock is ticking down for me now. It's not ticking up. Not that it's always ticking. It's ticking down from birth, isn't it, really? But I do know now that I have less time left than I've already had. And I want to squeeze the absolute most out of every millisecond of that time that I have, because it's amazing. Life is incredible, and the opportunities there are incredible. So we get to decide how we look at failure. We get to decide what it looks like. We get to decide whether or not we completely discount that fear. And we have that choice. We have a choice about everything. And I personally would much rather regret something that I've done than something I haven't done. So if you are feeling a fear of failure, don't let it stop you. Do silence those fearful thoughts inside your head, and maybe try a little bit of visualization. See yourself succeeding, see yourself wherever you are, think ahead. If you take a step and you say, you sign up something, you join something or whatever it might be, or you take an action step, then see yourself 6 months down the line, where are you going to be, and actually visualize that. And set small goals. So set small goals that you can actually achieve, that are not going to be too difficult, so that then you can see yourself moving forward. Okay, and I have a new motto. This is where I'm going to have to censor myself again. My new motto is, we created it, me and the lovely Julie Angel. We created it, and it's basically stop it, F it, stop it, F it, and then do it. Okay, so it's stop it, F it, do it. Which I think is rather cool. I rather like that. Tell me what you think in the comments if you like my new motto. So stop the fearful. In this case, I'm just going to get on with it, and then I'm really going to get on with it. Okay, so that's my Top Tip Tuesday this Tuesday. Don't let fear of failure stop you. Thank you very much for listening and hanging out with me. So the Magnificent Midlife Members Club, it's currently closed. Next week, it's going to open for 3 days only, okay? And it's going to be at the price it's been at so far, but after the 3 days next week, where it's going to close, but the next time I open it, it will be quite a bit more in price. So if you've been thinking about it, putting it off, fearful that you might fail if you make that step, don't any longer. Come and try it out. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can leave anytime, so there is no commitment, no risk. Take the plunge, because it really could have a transformational impact on your life. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. This is Top Tip Tuesday. This is Rachel from Magnificent Midlife. Cheers. Bye-bye.